Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss the skull with you. So first of all, we should know about the uh, we should know about the skull and why we are going to study the skull or skeleton of a particular region. So we are studying the osteology or skeleton of particular region to have its complete understanding of that very region, because bones are those factors which are responsible for protection of the viscera over there, and they are providing attachments to the muscles, and they are providing foramens to pass through the vessels which are passing through at that region, and they are also related to the nerves which are related to that very particular region. So that is why the importance, bones, they are so important. So today we are dealing with the skeleton of the head and the neck. So skeleton of the head and the neck, that is comprised of the bones. So first of all we are having the skull, then on the then we are having skull, then hyoid bone and the mandible, as well as the cervical vertebrae which are present on the head and neck region. So head and neck region is comprising of the bones of the skull, hyoid bone, then mandible and the cervical bones, which are seven in number. So seven cervical vertebrae, they have to we are also studying that in this lecture, in the part of head and neck. So we are talking about the skull. Skull is comprised of 28 bones, including the 6 ossicle bones which are lying in the middle ear cavity. So they are 28 in number. We are studying 28 bones one by one. So first of all we should know about how to study the skull. So while studying the skull, uh, we should take it into consideration that we are having its different views. So first of all we are having the different view of the skull. So when we are going to see the skull from the front, that is known as the frontal view of the skull. That is why this view is known as frontal view, because we are seeing the skull from the front. And here we are going to see the two orbits of the skull. Then we are having a nasal cavity which is sphere in shape. Then we are having the opening for the mouth, which is comprised of the two maxillae and one mandible, which is covering it from the lower world. Then we are having the view of the skull from the upper region. That is the when we are seeing the skull from the sky, or it is also known as helicopter view of the skull. And this view of the skull is scientifically known as the norma. This is known as norma verticalis. So when this view of the skull is known as norma verticalis. So when we are having the lateral view of the skull, that is we are studying the bones of the skull from the lateral aspect. So this region is known as this view of the skull is known as the lateral view of the skull. And when we are studying the skull from behind, that is from the posterior, so this view of the skull is known as norma occipitalis, because of the occipital bone which is seen here, which is largely seen over here. So that is why this view is given its name. So finally we are left with the view that is norma basalis. So norma basalis is very important view, because all the openings of the skull, so maximum number of openings of the skull from where the nerves and the vessels they are passing through along with the spinal cord and important structures, to the down skeleton from the head. Okay, so now we are having the different views of the skull. So first of all we are taking the view that is the norma verticalis. So in norma verticalis we are going to see the bones in this, then we are studying the suture, and then we are studying the features which are mainly seen in this region. So we are talking about the bones. So here we are having the main bones. The anteriorly we are having the frontal bone. So here we are having the frontal bone. So this bone is known as frontal bone. So on the side we are having two bones here. These are known as parietal bones, and the downward here we are having the posterior bone, we are having the occipital bone. So here we are having the sutures. Then when we are talking about the sutures, so sutures are coronal suture. The coronal suture is present between the frontal bone and two parietal bones. So this suture is known as the coronal suture. So why this suture is known as coronal suture? Because it is crown like in shape. So this suture is known as coronal suture. Then we are having another suture which is present in between two parietal bones. So this suture is known as interparietal suture. So here we are having the interparietal suture over here, and this suture is extending from the midpoint of the coronal suture to the midpoint of the lambdoid suture. So here we are having the interparietal suture, and posteriorly we are having a suture which is known as lambdoid suture. So why this suture is known as lambdoid? Because this suture is having the shape like Greek alphabet called lambda. So here we are having the lambdoid suture over here. So now we are having the main features which are to be seen from the norma verticalis. So these features are, first we are having the feature that is the point where the coronal suture is meeting with the interparietal suture. So this interparietal suture is also known as sagittal suture. So here we are having the meeting point between sagittal suture and the coronal suture, which is known as the bragma. So this point is known as bragma. Then we are having another point which is present here where the sagittal suture is meeting with the lambdoid suture. So this point is known as lambda point. So here we are having the lambda point. So anterior to this lambda, 3 to 5 centimeter anteriorly, we are having two parietal foramens over here. So these are two parietal foramens. These might be 1 in number. So instead of 2, they are 1 in number. So this point is known as obelium between these two parietal foramens. So two parietal foramens which are present side by to this point which is known as obelium. So then we are having the final point over the suture, that is interparietal suture or sagittal suture, which is the highest point, that is known as vertex. So vertex is the highest point of the body or of the skull. So these were the main features which are present. Then we are having another feature. These are the lines which are present here. So these are the supratemporal line. So here we are having the temporal lines. So here we are having the temporal lines also, which are present on the norma verticalis. So now we are talking about the occipital view or the norma occipitalis of the skull. So norma occipitalis of the skull, as you are going to see over here. So here we are having posterior aspect of the interparietal suture, which is seen over here. Then here we are having the point lambda, which is present over here. So this suture is present in between, or this point is present in between the bone, that is the occipital bone, which is mainly present over here. So this is the squamous part of the occipital bone. So this is also known as the flattened part of the occipital bone. So this part of the occipital bone is meeting with the parietal bone with the help of parieto-occipital suture. And here we are having two parieto-occipital suture. One is present on the left side and another is present on the right side. So these are meeting with the sagittal suture at the point lambda. So that point is known as lambda. Then on the midline we are having a tubercle. So this tubercle or posterior most projection on this view, we are having the external occipital protuberance. So external occipital protuberance, we are having the lines which are passing laterally. So these are very much prominent lines. So these are known as the superior nuchal line, and sometime few centimeter above this we are having the faint lines which are passing from this ridge. So this medial ridge, these lines are known as the extreme nuchal lines. So downward we are having two lines, again downward to the external occipital protuberance we are having two faint lines which are passing laterally from the median. So these are known as the inferior nuchal lines. So we are having three sets of line. One is the superior nuchal lines which are passing from the external occipital protuberance. Then we are having two lines which are passing on their sides. These are known as the extreme nuchal lines, and two downward to the external occipital protuberance from this ridge. These lines are known as the inferior nuchal lines. And the posterior most projection which is present on the external occipital protuberance, this point is known as inion. So here we are having the inion which is present here. So then we are going to see the condyles which are articulating with the first cervical bone, that is atlas. So these are known as the condyles of the skull which is present over here. So again we are having the mastoid process which can be seen from the behind view, that is the norma occipitalis. So here we are having one more suture which is present here. So this suture is known as parieto-mastoidal suture over here. So this suture is present between mastoid process and parietal bone. So here we are having this type of suture, and sometime we are having the bones which are formed by the sutures. So here we are having the extra number of bones which are present on the skull. So these are known as Vermian bones. So here we are having the Vermian bone which are to be seen in this skull also. So these are the Vermian bones. So here we were having the norma occipitalis. Now we are having the view that is from the lateral aspect. So on the lateral aspect we are going to see the major bones which are the lateral aspect of the some of the important bones which were also seen in case of our vertical views. These are the parietal bone, the frontal bone, then we are having the mastoidal part of the temporal bone, then we are having the zygomatic process of the temporal bone, then we are having the temple region, temporal region of the temporal bone. So here we are having the zygomatic bone which is also seen in this part. Then here we are having the zygomatic process of the frontal bone along with the frontal bone over here, which is also seen in this view of the skull. Then we are having the maxilla. The lateral view of the maxilla is also seen along with the teeth present on the sockets. Then we are having the ramus and the body of the mandible, which is also seen in this part or in this view of the skull. So here we are going to see the bones. Then we are having some sutures which are present here. So these sutures, they are known as, so first we are starting with the suture, that is the temporoparietal suture, which is present between the temporal bone and the parietal bone. So this suture is known as the temporoparietal suture. Then anteriorly we are having one more suture which is present between the frontal and the frontal and the sphenoid bone. So this is known as the frontal suture. So one more suture which is present, which is running vertically. So this suture is known as sphenotemporal suture. So temporosphenoidal suture, this may be named as the sphenoidal suture. Then here we are having one more suture which is present, that is frontozygomatic suture. Then one more suture which is present between the zygomatic process of the temporal bone and the temporal process of the zygomatic bone. This suture is known as the zygomatico-temporal suture. So here we are having this suture, which is the suture named as zygomatico-temporal suture. Then on the lateral aspect we are having one more suture which is present between maxilla and the zygomatic bone. So this is known as zygomatico-maxillary suture. So these were the sutures which we were talking about. And finally we are having the foramen, which is seen by this. This is the external acoustic meatus. So this is the external opening of the ear, which is external acoustic meatus, this opening. Then we are having the temporal fossa, which we are going to see on the temple region. So this part is known as the temporal fossa, which is also seen on this view of the skull. So here we are having another bone which is known as the mastoid. So this is the mastoidal part of the temporal bone. So here we are having the foramen, which is present over here on the mastoid. Then one more foramen is present over here. So this was the lateral view of the skull. So